Bruh.
Walkie slush.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. Well, why aren't you nanoing that soldier?
I was, didn't feel like I needed that. Did I know him?
So the thing is that I thought when here's the thing. When you have nano, you don't necessarily need to combo it with anything. If you see this guy crit and he's clearly trying to be aggressive, you can nano him to enable his aggression. That aggression is going to keep you up for longer, right? Because they're going to focus on him, not you.
Right.
Right. So that lets you heal him more. That lets you take cover for a bit, right? Another thing, I want to ask you this, right? Have you ever watched high-level gameplay and you see these matches where they say, like, winnable, 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 and they just start throwing ults even though they're down people? And they win the fight?
Yeah.
Why do you think they do that?
Maybe they have like better, like they have like more ults over the enemy, so they think they can like use ults.
Not necessarily, right? So what you need to be thinking about it is like this, right? If you think, sure, here this works. If you think of it as like 6v6, right? Let's say you guys are walking from spawn and somebody gets picked right here. Are you going to go into this fight?
No.
No, right? You just reset. Because the fight hasn't even started, you just stop, right?
Yeah.
But what typically happens in Plat when it's like you guys are walking through and then you guys end up getting into a fight here and somebody dies like early on in the fight, what do people normally say?
Just back out.
Back up, right? Or
Disengage.
play slow.
Yeah.
Right? The thing is that during this point of the fight, you actually want to be looking to turn the fight back into your favor. So rather than being at a 5v6 and just hoping to win, what you want to do is that you want to say, all right, fuck these guys, we're going to split, we're going to do something weird, and we're going to turn this back to a 5v5. Right? And right now, what are you guys trying to do?
Turn the fight back in our favor.
Yeah, because you need to get the objective. And when you're getting steamrolled, you can't just play traditionally to turn the steamroll around. You have to do something drastic. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you nano this soldier and he gets a kill on somebody here, what do you think that does for your team?
Makes it a more even fight.
It makes it winnable.
Yeah.
Right? So the idea is that you right now have to be trying to get something winnable. But you're not enabling that, right? Because right now this soldier's just laying into people. Imagine if he was nanoed. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This could have been 2 picks potentially. But because he's not nanoed, and because you haven't done anything drastic to turn the fight, and that's why I say it's like if you're hesitating as to like whether or not you can contest this, like even if they capture 3rd point, but you guys get them to like if you wipe them, you wipe them. That's it. They're not pushing the cart. That's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, right? But the whole point is that like you kind of had to enable this idea of like winnable in a way, right? And with your nano, you want to be enabling. If you don't really have like a default nano target, like a nano blade, and this is the thing, don't use your nano on a Genji just because you have a Genji, right? If like, don't wait for him to get blade to nano, right? If you have a Reinhardt and he's like sitting there swinging and he's taking a ton of damage, use your nano to save him. Use your nano to save your tanks. That's much better guaranteed value out of the nano rather than waiting an extra fight just to get one fight win. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? So right now, I think you should be trying to push the tempo a little bit more. Nano this soldier, he potentially gets a kill on this Widowmaker, who he was dueling initially. Right? If he was nano, that would have been a kill.
Right, yeah.
And then he could potentially be killing somebody else, right? And that's the thing. And this is what I was saying, like, if you're not really sure if the fight is winnable, what you need to do is think about, again, what your team comp wants to do. Where's the objective, and where are your tanks? See this? They're taking off angles. They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is that you need to speed up the process that I was talking about initially, right? Where it's like, how would this team operate? Do they want to sit on the cart?
Probably not.
No. So how do they get the cart to stop?
By just killing everything.
They have to kill everything first from the off angles. Yeah. So you need to speed that process up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is that you're just too hesitant with your nano. I'd rather you throw out nanos for no reason. And just throw them out on cooldown. Just so then you can have like an adjustment and then scale it back. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like at this point now it's like okay, well yeah, now you're starting to throw ults, that's good. But now you might be throwing a bit more ults than you actually needed. You see what I'm saying? Where your soldier could have just gotten boom 1, 2, built ult, team fight win. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
There might have not been a need for Grav and Nano and Sigma ults apparently. Right? But that's good enough. You won the fight.
Acá haciendo empanada con los pibes. Después le paso la receta. Básicamente hamburguesas, pero adentro empanada.
What do you think about that, Nade?
No one else could follow up on it. Probably didn't need to throw it.
The thing is, I think somebody could follow up on it. It's this person who's starting to attack visor, and I'm sorry you can't hear the audio, but it's just the way it is on screen share. But he just popped attack visor. Right?
Yeah.
But judging by the fact that he is in this position, where do you think you're going to want your nade to land? Somewhere around here. Right? Where he is. Where he's aggressing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like for you to be playing this a little bit more aggressive rather than being back here. I would almost like to see you back here again. Right?
Right.
And then from here, you could even potentially work your way over here, but that's a bit risky, right? But the idea is that, like, if you see that it's like, okay, we're going to nano, okay, we're going to attack visor, all right, 3, 2, 1, chuck the nade, get the fuck out of there and come back over here. Right? And then you just support him. Or if anything, I would literally just say, like, you tell him to, like, let them in a bit, right? And then, like, once they get, because I think this is a bit of a premature attack visor, but it's like, if you let them in a bit to, like, around maybe here, you have this corner to throw a nade at. You see that?
Yeah.
And then they're fucked. They can't do anything about that. Or your angle just becomes much sharper from right here, and it becomes much easier for you to throw nades over their shield and into their backline, and then you just clean up with the attack visor, right? Yeah. So the key thing is just making sure that these nades, that they actually land in a place that can be followed up on. And right now, it's not. How the hell did that land on him?
Went underneath the shield, I think.
Oh my god. Okay, cool. So, sure. Alright, that works. Whatever. That was totally intentional, right? Okay, why do you think I don't like that sleep?
Probably a bit too early.
Yeah, I think you could just fire at her and get the same effect. Because the thing with Sombra is that as soon as you get that first shot off, like, especially like if you have like a McCree on your team, if you get that first shot off, she's one shot basically. Like, she can't stand there for any longer. So I would say, for one thing, don't drop. You don't need to drop right now. As a support, there's never really a reason for you to be contesting point like this, because now you're because you need to think of it like this, right? I'm dropping on point to make sure a Sombra doesn't back cap, but one, there's like still quite a bit of time before she actually caps, and two, she's just gonna get out anyways. So why
Right,
not just
right.
shoot at her?
Yeah.
Right? Because then you're gonna drop and it's like, yes, got her out. And now you're here. And now it's like, oh shit, this doesn't feel as good. Right? Now things like this are gonna happen. Right? You're gonna get this is called playing from the outside in, right? The idea is that you don't really want to be on the inside having to look at things outward. You want to be on the outside so you can see the things that are happening outwards ahead of time and you can react to them and you can take cover, right? But from the middle, you can't, like, maybe you can take cover from one here, but you're not going to be taking cover from main. See that?
Yeah.
Assuming that there even is cover, like assuming that the cart is even tall enough, right? And then now look, the Widowmaker's here, and now you can't pressure her out. This would be a good time for a sleep dart, but you can't even see her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I'm saying, oh, right here would be nice, or right here, right? You just be playing like this. You'll learn to sit here, keep up your team, nade,
Right, yeah.
sleep. See that? There's no reason to drop right now. If anything, let me see. Where were you before you dropped? Yeah, you were here. But then, how did this... Yeah, you saw the Somber going. I wouldn't sleep. I would literally just shoot, call for the cart, and then last second, then you can drop. If you really, really needed to, and you see nobody else is going to contest. Alright? Obviously, you don't want to just let them cap. But there's no reason for you to drop like this. Ideally, you just fire her out. This is where I would even say, like, if you can't see her, just chuck a fucking nade at her. Like, it literally doesn't matter. You just need to get her out, right? And then from there, that's when you can be, like, here. And then you can come back towards, like, here, sleep, and then just play around here. Let's go back here. Okay. See how this feels kind of shitty?
Yeah.
This doesn't feel good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No. You see, you have Hog on your left, Rhine Nano on your ass, fucking Widowmaker headshots up here, anti-nades coming from here. You can't do anything about that. Alright, you can't, like, that's the thing. Like, as Ana, you kind of have to, like, single out what things you want to deal with at a time, especially since you, well, yeah, no, you just need, in general, you just need to be singling out what things you want to deal with at a time and make sure you're not getting fucked by everything else, because once you're here, you're screwed. That's it. Let's see. Better, but I would like you to see the enemy, because this is just entirely theory, right? This is like you theorizing that the Hog is right there. He could be just out of splash range, like right here, and he doesn't get splashed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would like for you to actually see him, and then you go for the nade, because it's like the thing is that a nade. This is the thing. A nade, you don't want to be using it as an engagement tool. You want to be using it during the mid fight. Right? So when the Hog is used so the easiest way you can think of it is like if you're playing Rein Zarya playing against Rein Zarya, right? So let's say this is a Zarya. You want to be using it when they don't have bubbles to cleanse, right? When the Rein is low on shield. When maybe their Baptiste doesn't have immortality or something, right? It's not necessarily like you're looking for those things, but it's like as the fight drags on, the more likely these resources are going to be used at certain points throughout the timeline of the fight, right? So it's like if you just throw out your nade like here at the beginning, they have all of these things available to deal with that nade and just get out. But if you let the fight drag on and your teammates are like fighting and then you nade like right here, it's like, oh shit, what do we do? This is when panic starts to set in, and that's when you potentially get a kill because there's less things to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? Assuming that there even are this many things to deal with an anti-nade, which really there isn't. Other than like, I don't know, Diva Matrix, Zarya Bubble to like cleanse, but that's assuming you get like only 2 people in the nade. That's why I say, like, you see, this person's gonna get antied, but then what are they gonna do? Just take cover. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no... Your nade didn't really do that much as it should have. Whereas, like, if you actually get them out and then you nade them, then it's like, okay, where do we go? Right? You've let them come into your space a bit. It's called like kind of it's like the ebb and flow a bit, where it's like sometimes you have to give up ground a bit in order to enable something that pushes them back properly in, right? Because now this nade is gone, or no, it's not gone yet, but it's gonna be gone any second now. There we go. And then now you're gonna see the enemy team push back, and you're not gonna have the response to keep them back. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of have to let them push first a bit. Or let your team engage a bit more, so that when you nade, they're actually following up on it.